So I guess now it's time for part two of the Warthunder auction house because we do have a little bit of an update whenever it comes to Stona, which has been put into the dev blog itself. Basically, Stona has just justified the reasons of why they even added the auction house. They didn't really give a clear answer on if there's ever going to be vehicles. There is two things I do want to point out. The first paragraph right here, it does say items, which means could literally be anything. Could be vehicles, could be camos, could be cosmetic stuff. But in the second paragraph right here, which is also important to point out, it says cosmetic items. So provide an opportunity to purchase cosmetic items. So honestly, in my opinion, do with that as you will. It's not a clear answer for at least me whenever it comes to if they're going to actually introduce vehicles in this sort of thing. But I believe that's what Gaijin should have done. Instead of adding whatever this is that Stono wanted to put out, they should have been like, hey, this is like what your guys' concerns are. We are not going to add vehicles, or we're going to add vehicles to it at some point. And I believe that would actually give people more of an informed opinion. But at the same time, I'm still against auction house. It's a terrible system. And basically, we're just going to go through this video talking about the reasons of why. So in the first paragraph here, we have the release of the auction house was the intention of making it an experimental feature aimed to support community content creators. The items will be offered for sale, which will be made by community content creators, and the authors of these items will get a percentage from the total sales as a reward. So basically, we already had this. We already had the scanner boxes. Like, you're able to buy the esports boxes, you're able to buy the update boxes, and those skins were made by community members whenever it came to the actual War Thunder Live stuff, which I think was honestly a pretty good system. It gave an incentive for people to make skins, but also at the same time, it gave people, revenue to go through their stuff with. But at the same time, why is this needed? We already had systems. We already have all this sort of stuff. So why is auction house needed? I mean, give me a benefit of an auction house for the average player. What is there? There's none. Literally none. So I believe that should probably be like the biggest thing. And then in the next paragraph we may add other cosmetic items beside the ones currently available during the auction testing period, which I mean, fair enough, whatever. The purpose of the auction house is to provide an opportunity to purchase cosmetic items. So this is one thing that I do want to point out. So they do say it in this that it is for cosmetic items. But once again, until they say we're never adding vehicles into this, and then they can like stamp their their little note sheet with their Gaijin blood or whatever, and then they're never going to break that promise, I don't believe it. And at the same time, it is probably going to be one of the biggest contentious things of if they add vehicles in this, like literally people are going to be done. Like, I feel like that's probably the biggest thing. And we'll talk about that later in the video itself. The biggest thing about this whole entire portion of this is this sentence right here, this little quote. Without having to rely on luck. You know what luck is? It's a percentage chance of actually getting something or something of happening. Right now, for example, if I go into Warthunder Market and I want this profile icon right here, if I pay $15.50, which is 15 Gaijin coin, right? I will most likely not get this because the price will keep increasing. So by luck, I'm gambling, which it doesn't take your money, right? So let's put that out there. You'll get your Gaijin coin back. But at the same time, I'm most likely not going to get this. Like I said in yesterday's video, I believe if you're not in the top like 60 whenever it comes to the prices, so if you've not already paid like $19 for this thing, I don't believe you're going to get it. I mean, even I could be a little bit like not right on a number right here. It could even be in the top like 40 or something. So $21. I don't believe you have like a good chance of getting it. So if you've only paid like 15 or you've only paid like 16, I believe at some point, like this thing still has like 6 days to go, you may not see it for that price, which is completely luck. You're gambling. So how's that not luck? And then to finish out this paragraph, as well as to give offers the opportunity to receive a reward that corresponds with the demand for the items they create. In my opinion, I mean, I'm not an artist. I think that it's not really that venturous to go try to create War Thunder art and create camos and try to make money off of it. In my opinion, I feel like I would get more satisfaction from just seeing people in the game whenever I'm playing. Because I assume these creators will also be playing the game. That you see your decals, you see people who are running your camos. I believe that's more satisfactory than just earning like whatever this is whenever it comes to scarcity and basically being a bad system. But also at the same time, the whole scarcity thing could just be took away. They could just add these camos to the market. They could literally just go put it into a box. Or they could do something even more consumer friendly, which would be go put it on the War Thunder Gaijin store for like, I don't know, $5 and you get this pack. I mean, like I don't mind if there's cosmetics. I don't mind if there's paid cosmetics. But at the same time, whenever you're scarcely like making something available to where people will pay exorbitant amount of money for it, how's that fun? How's that consumer at all? Like I just don't understand. Like that's literally my whole entire thing. So now let's get on to the portion of this video, which was actually a comment that I got yesterday. Is how do I know there's actually vehicles like that are user made already that are just kind of ready to go? I did get that sort of thing. So here's a good example. So we're on Warthunder Live right now, and there's a vehicle that you're probably seeing on your screen, which is a vehicle that many of you have probably wanted when it comes to your Warthunder career, which is the OV10 Bronco. This vehicle is ready. It's been ready since like at least the May of 2022. The whole entire reason this vehicle has never made it into the game is because, well, it's a Bronco and it's going to be such a low battle rating for what it is. And then also at the same time, it really doesn't fit War Thunder in itself and probably will become a vehicle that is a squadron vehicle at some point. But wouldn't it make sense for this vehicle to be a limited time run within the auction house? Huh. And you know who Nova is? This dude has made a bunch of vehicles for the game. A bunch of them. Whenever it comes to user created content. Like we have the IR right there. Like we have the BV. I believe he did make that one as well. There's a ton of vehicles that Nova has made that has made it into the game, and there's a ton that he's also made that have not made it into the game that easily could be put into the auction house and made rare because why not? So yeah, this is basically how I know that there's already vehicles ready to go. We have stuff like the Bronco. We have the Indian Jet thing that he's made as well. There's a ton of vehicles that he can add or that Gaijin can just get from just one person. And there's many people, like we get the BF thing right here as well. Like there's a ton of vehicles, and it's not just Nova. There's a ton of vehicles which are ready. There's some Ukrainian vehicles that are ready. There's, I believe, even the like the Terminator is ready as well from a user model. So yeah, like I said, there's vehicles that are ready to just go. And Gaijin could just pull the plug at any moment, put them in the auction house, and basically have a field day with them. But yeah, that's a big concern, I believe, from a lot of people. Next, let's actually talk about the corruption. Let's just call it corruption on the War Thunder market. So, if you didn't know, when it comes to the War Thunder market, all of these skins that you see. So, let's do this. Let's go over here. Let's turn off dark mode again so it looks normal. So, if we go to skins, right? So, we go to War Thunder, and then we go to camouflages. All of these skins right here are made by users. Many of these users get paid in Gaijin coin, which means that they have an exorbitant amount of Gaijin coin on the Gaijin market, just because it's a little bit skew-whiffed and a little bit hard to do if you want to actually export your money into like PayPal or something like that. So basically what all these guys do is they have like, you know, probably like 500, 600 Gaijin coin, which they can do basically anything with. So when it comes to this is a huge problem because if we go to, for example, let's go to the newest ones first, and then we'll go to tank aircraft. Let's go to the T80UD. We should see some activity on this very quickly whenever it comes to this. So whenever something happens right here, it's going to say a anonymous person majority of the time, unless someone has actually had that filter off. It may take us a minute and we might not see something within this video, but hang on. There should be something, right? Like, I don't know. There should be probably the keys, I guess would give us like the best thing. Go to storm warning. There should be someone gambling. We always have gamblers in our midst right now. Come on, someone buy something for me already so I can show this off. All right, so there we go. We have anonymous purchase this item from the War Thunder market. So anonymous is literally anybody. It can be literally anybody whenever it comes to this, which is a huge concern because whenever you have an auction house with people who already have a ton of Gaijin coin and people who have a ton of just Gaijin coin from different nefarious means, they can boost up the numbers whenever it comes to this. So like we already have someone who put 127 Gaijin coin on this profile icon. We have people who are putting exorbitant amount of money, 54 on that one. We have this one with the J10 55. So yeah, there's just a ton of people who are putting insane amounts of money on this, and it's probably some guys from actually the art team, or let's not call them the art team, let's call them the art connoisseurs, which have a ton of Gaijin coin by just the amount of money that Gaijin gives them, because they're able to trade in their time and work for Gaijin coin. So there's a lot of corruption on the War Thunder market, especially since you can't see who is actually putting up buy orders or who is putting up the auction stuff. Basically, we'll never know because, well, it's hidden. We'll never know if these like $127, $100, $70 are from people who are even the creator of this art. Like I've never seen anything about the creator can't buy into this and artificially just increase the value of the thing, so people have to pay more money for it. Like that's that's probably a big concern for I think a lot of people, and it's just not addressed at all. So yeah, am I a fan of this new auction house? No, I think it's terrible. I think this is honestly probably the worst thing Gaijin could possibly do. And instead of just completely being like, "Hey, this is a crap idea. We're going to completely can it," it seems like they're still going forward with it. So yeah, very concerned. It's a very very concerning day for Warthunder. And be honest with you, like after all the battle pass stuff, after all of the stuff that has happened with the game, this is probably the lowest I've felt about the game in a very very long time. Whenever it comes to Warthunder, because they're making decisions which just basically make no sense to me. For what? I mean, like, why do we need this auction house? I mean, what's the benefit to the players? What's the benefit to the game? And sadly, there's not much of one. So yeah, hope everyone has a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys in the next War Thunder video.